and welcome to my channel, Naughty Gnome Crafts. My name is Sarah, and you can find me as Naughty Gnome on Instagram. If you are a new or returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me today, and welcome to my sewing vlog. So today is another episode of Friday Sews, and I have a lot to show you today, but before we get started, I just want to quickly go over what I'm wearing. This is just a ready-to-wear Barefoot Dreams cardigan that I bought from the Nordstrom anniversary sale last year. And underneath, I am wearing my Fiber Mood honey shirt that I think I made in February, and I will insert a picture here of me wearing it. And I really like this shirt. This purple is not usually one of my colors, so I kind of branched out a little bit, and I actually really like this shirt, and I've worn it quite a few times. So, I can't believe it's only been a week since the last time we did Friday Sews because I've made so many things, so I'm just gonna get right into it. So the first thing that I completed after I spoke to you last is my Victory Pattern Sofia dress. So this is a rayon gingham fabric that I got from Blackbird Fabrics, and I made the view with the flutter sleeves and the sheared bodice, and then I made it an ankle length, and I actually added a ruffled tier at the bottom. So I have a lot to say about this dress and the sheared top that I made, but I'm gonna save that for a review that's gonna go up on Monday. So if you wanna know my feelings about this dress and the top, come back on Monday and you will find out all the things I have to say about it. So that was the first thing that I finished. So the second thing that I finished last week was also a dress. I had become obsessed with the spring dress by Nina Lee that was provided as a free pattern with a British sewing magazine. I had seen several people make this dress on Instagram and on YouTube, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. But of course, the magazine is sold out right now. You can't get a copy. I think that my Joann sometimes carries the British sewing magazines, but they're usually like a season behind. And so I knew that by the time that pattern makes it to my Joann, I'll probably have forgotten about it. And so I was kind of, after staring at so many different versions of the dress, I realized that it actually looks a lot like the Rhapsody blouse from Love Notions that I made last week. And so I decided to hack that pattern to make a very similar dress to the spring dress. So this is my version. So it has like the Rhapsody top here with the ties, and I used a 3/4 length bell sleeve, and then for the back, I added a little ruffle into the yoke seam. This is not on the Nina Lee spring dress, but I think I saw that Lucy from Sew Essential had made a top that had this little ruffle in the yoke, and I just thought it was a really pretty detail. So I went ahead and added that in, and then it has the regular pleat here. It has elastic at the waist, and then I shortened the dress. The original Rhapsody dress has a curved hem, so I straightened out the hem and shortened it. And then I added a ruffled tier at the bottom. So the fabric that I used is a white cotton eyelet from Joann. I went to Joann's and bought this fabric. I know that I really should not have bought more fabric, but the problem with my system of only buying fabric that has a plan is that all of my fabrics in my stash have plans. So I basically didn't have anything in the right amount that I wanted to use for this dress that wasn't already meant for something else. So I went ahead and went to Joann's and bought this white cotton eyelet fabric. I had been looking on Pinterest at white eyelet dresses, and they were so pretty that I just went ahead and picked up fabric, and I'm glad that I did because I really like the way that this turned out. I made the size extra small in the Rhapsody, and I did have to make some alterations. I ended up having to shorten the sleeves in total by 7 inches, which is quite a lot. I'm not quite sure why. Normally for like a long sleeve or a 3/4 sleeve, I usually only have to shorten them by about 2 to 3 inches, but I had to shorten this whole thing by 7 inches. So I did 6 inches out of the upper sleeve, and then I also took 1 inch off of the bell edition for a total of 7 inches, and that makes it 3/4 length on me. So just check the sleeve length if you have short arms to make sure that it's not like super long. I'm trying to think if I did anything else different to the pattern. Oh, I did end up cutting off. I cut the original bodice where it says to for the dress view, but I ended up trimming 1 inch off of the bodice because it seemed like it was too long. And then I actually wish that I had cut another inch off because the waist elastic doesn't hit me at my natural waist. It is a little bit lower than I really want it to be. So if I do this again, I would definitely shorten the bodice 2 inches for the dress length. Unfortunately, I do not have a modeled photo of this. I'm really behind on my garment photos. I'm hoping to catch up this weekend. So I don't have any pictures of me wearing it, but I'm sure that if you follow me on Instagram, I will eventually have a picture of me wearing this dress, and it's almost Me Made May, and so I'm undoubtedly going to be wearing this dress at some point during the month, and you'll see it then. But that was the second thing that I finished last week. So the third thing is not a new make, but it is one that I'm extra proud of because for whatever reason, after I finish a garment, if it's not quite right or if it needs some adjustments, a lot of times I just drag my feet making those adjustments because I just don't like going back to fix something that I've already made. But I also recognize that it's silly and wasteful to make things that just hang in my closet and I never wear them because of one small little detail. So I got out my True Bias Shelby dress that I made last year in the winter. And I love this dress. It's really beautiful. It's made out of a rayon linen, my favorite rayon linen blend. And the dress is fully lined because it was a little bit sheer, so I lined it with a rayon batiste fabric. And the problem with this dress is that I was too impatient and I didn't let the dress hang before I hemmed it. And so the lining dropped and it was uneven where it like kind of peeked out underneath the hem of the dress and it just looked tacky. So I've never worn this dress, which again is a huge shame because it's such a pretty dress. It has these little ties in the back. So I got it out and I tried to even up the hem, but in doing this, I actually created another problem for myself. So I don't have like a dress form that's like fit to my body, but I just have like a display dress form, but it's just convenient for like taking pictures and stuff, but it's not my actual size. So I just put this dress on my dress form, my display dress form, and I did the thing where you stick the ruler, you know, on the floor and then you even up the hem all the way around. And I did that for both the lining and the dress, but the problem is that my butt sticks out more than my dress forms does. And so when I put the actual dress on, it's now too short in the back because the dress, like there wasn't enough room for it to like flow over my butt. So the back hem is shorter than the front, which is really annoying. It's annoying to go back and fix something just to make a new problem. So now the dress is a little bit too short in the back, but I'm still gonna wear it. I think that for me, I care less if the dress hem is slightly uneven than I do having that lining sticking out. Like I think that was really just preventing me from wearing it because it looked like my slip was showing and it just looked tacky. Whereas this way, yes, the hem isn't exactly even, but who's really gonna notice that, hopefully. So I'm still glad that I fixed the dress and I am proud of myself for going back and fixing something that was less than perfect because I just normally don't do that. So I'm gonna call that a win. So that was the third thing that I adjusted this dress, and I'll be back and show you the fourth thing. So you may be sensing a theme here with these things. I like white. White is one of my power colors. I just like the way that it looks on me, and I have a lot of white things. So apologies if you're bored with seeing white things, but I just wear a lot of white. So the last thing that I made this week, I actually just finished it today. It's hot off the sewing machine. And this is the Palermo top from the Itch to Stitch book, So Beautiful. And I used this white linen fabric from Fabric Mart that I got in 2018. And I was really, this fabric is such a high quality. It's like a lightweight linen, but it's not super sheer or anything. And it's really like slick to the touch. And I just think the more that you wash it, the softer and nicer it's gonna get. And I asked myself as I was using it, why did I wait for 4 years to use this fabric? But I do know the answer. It's because a lot of my older stash that's been sitting around for years is the really good stuff. It's the linens and the silks and the wools that I've been too scared to cut into. So this was just a little reminder to just use your nice fabric. It's not like I can't buy more fabric. I mean, obviously I buy fabric all the time. So yeah, this was just a reminder to me to like use all the really nice stuff in my stash. Don't just let it sit there forever. But anyway, so I made these size 0, and I did make some modifications, like design modifications to the top. So the first thing is this neckline is gathered with elastic, and I don't know if I made a mistake or if maybe like the chart was wrong or something, but I think that the elastic doesn't gather very much and the neckline is still really wide. If I were going to do it over again, I would make the elastic shorter so that it gathers in more. I also don't know, I haven't washed this yet, so I don't know if I wash it and dry it, if it'll kind of shrink up a little bit more. But that is one thing that I'm not super happy with, is that the neckline is a little bit strange. The other thing that I changed is that the sleeves are supposed to be gathered at the wrist, and I like that look, but when I tried on the top, I just really liked the way that it looked with the sleeves plain. It just looked a little bit more like a tunic style linen top. So just for simplicity, I decided to just go ahead and hem it, and I just, for my hems, I just serged the edge, turned it under, I turned this under 1 inch and then top stitch it down. And I did the same for the bottom hem. So this top is just really beautiful. I mean, maybe it looks a little bit boring, but like when I tried it on, it just felt like this is going to be a staple piece in my wardrobe. It'll go with so many things, and the fabric quality is just so nice that I'm really glad that I made this top. And if you tuned into my May sewing plans, you will have seen this fabric, and I talked about my plans. So I actually got a little bit of a jump start on my May plans, and I already finished one thing at the end of April. So that's very exciting. So next week, my plans are to start working on the Simplicity 1887. I'm gonna make the shorts view out of this Essex cotton linen, and I'm also gonna make a Fiber Mood Elisa shirt to go with it. So I am definitely going to make a muslin of the shorts before I cut into my real fabric. And I actually got kind of lucky in a way that my dog tore holes in our bed sheets, so I had to order new bed sheets. But the positive thing of that is that the old bed sheets are now like all this usable fabric that I have lying around that I can use to make muslins. So I'm gonna cut into some of that and just make a quick muslin, check the fit of the shorts. I think that they are supposed to be pretty roomy, so I'm hopeful that I won't have to make too many adjustments. But I do have a lot of trouble fitting pants, so we'll just see how it goes. But that is kind of my goal for next week, is to get the muslin done, check the fit, and hopefully cut out the real version out of this, and also cut out the Elisa shirt at the same time, because since it's the same fabric, it's just simpler to do. I am normally the kind of person that just likes to sew one garment at a time, but since both pieces are using the same fabric, I'll cut them both, and then I'll sew the shorts, and then when I finish the shorts, I'll do the shirt. So that's my goals for next week. So I wanted to kind of keep this video a little bit short this week, so I just have one more thing to share with you today. So it's been a while since I've shown you my knitting progress, so I have been working on my diamond stitch sweater from the book Vintage Knits, and I forgot to bring the book over, but it doesn't matter. So this little orange stitch marker is where I was the last time I showed it to you, and since then I finished the front, and I attached the shoulders with a 3-needle bind off. Sorry for all the threads, I obviously need to weave in my ends, I haven't done that yet. But I joined the shoulders, and I knitted the neckband, and I have cast on for the first sleeve, and here's my progress on sleeve number 1. And for the sleeves, I'm also doing the alternating 3 skeins thing. So slowly but surely, I am making progress on my sweater. I think I looked back through my planner to see when I started it. I think I started the sweater last September, so it's been quite a while. I'll be honest with you, I'm getting a little bit tired of it and I want to knit something else, but I'm motivated to get this off the needles so that it will be done and I don't have to think about it anymore, and then I can start a new project. So I think that is everything that I have for you today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I will see you next week.